Hey, it's your buddy Tim Scholl back with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and it is finally here. The duplicate system is being announced, and I watched it, and I got to tell you, it's pretty good. Now, I'm going to shrink myself way down here in the corner so you can see her. It's not going to be the greatest recording because the music is kind of loud, and she might be a little hard to hear, but bear with me, and we're going to go through this. Now, this obviously was the biggest release I think Raid has ever made. And if they would have screwed this up, I mean, I think it would have been the beginning of the end for this game, right? I know most people were kind of in the mindset that if they screw up this duplicate system, it's not really worth spending money on this game because it's just too easy to get dupes and too expensive and all that stuff. So this was a big deal, and they released their findings, and let's check it out together.
Hey everyone, and welcome to our latest preview video. Today we're going to talk about the new systems for helping you get the most value from your duplicate champions. As duplicate champions is a multifaceted issue, we analyzed a variety of situations and identified a few key issues that different groups of players face. And because there were a few different situations and issues, we had to come up with a few different solutions. Something that applies more to newcomers looking to progress quickly, something that may be more useful for mid-game players looking to make the step up, and something that will be more beneficial to end-game players with pretty bloated champion collections. We wanted to make sure there was a solution that everyone could potentially benefit from, no matter where they are in-game. Alright, enough talk, let's get into it. You all know the sparring pit in your bastion, where champions bash each other on the head to gain experience. Well, it's getting an upgrade. The new Guardian Ring will still have all the functionality of the sparring pit inside, but it will also have a bunch of new mechanics, including faction guardians, champion empowerment, and champion unbinding.
So I think that's brilliant. Now, I can't believe nobody, including myself, saw that coming, right? Everybody was looking at that Void Tower and other areas where they were going to do the duplicate system, and nobody thought of this champion training ring, the Guardian Ring. And it's perfect. It's perfect.
You won't know what those are yet, but don't worry, I'll take you through them all. Let's start with the feature the ring is named after, Faction Guardians. The Faction Guardians tab will let you assign duplicate champions of different rarities to become Faction Guardians. This means they'll boost the stats of all champions of the same rarity in that faction. When you first visit the tab, you'll see a list of all factions. Tapping on any of the banners will bring up a new tab with the duplicate slots available. Each slot gives a stat bonus to all champions of that faction and of that specific rarity. It's a bit similar to Great Hall bonuses, but faction-specific instead of affinity-specific. Slots are unlocked in order, so after you get your bonus to HP, you'll unlock the slots that can get you bonus stack, which will unlock the slots for defense, and so on. For example, let's say we have two Raglins. You'll be able to put them both into the first legendary Bannerlord slot and unlock a 10% HP boost for all legendary Bannerlords you own, including your Raglins, both of which you can still use. If you also had a pair of Barons, you can put them in the second.
See, now I think that's great. Now, the tough part is you need 10 duplicates per faction, which for legendaries is obviously tough. But okay, let's say you have 10 duplicates for each faction. You can fill them out. You can still use them. You can still use them. So the legendaries you want to keep duplicates of, maybe you fill them in here until you have all the dupes that you want. And then you can do other things with the other duplicates. So I like this. Now, the stats aren't obviously OP. I mean, we didn't expect them to be OP, but there's something.
Second slot that was just unlocked to get an attack boost, and so on. As I mentioned, champions you make into Faction Guardians can still be used in battles. As long as you don't get rid of either champions, you'll get the bonus. And Faction Guardians aren't only available for legendaries. Epic and rare champions can also become Faction Guardians. Since you don't lose your champions when you assign them to be Guardians, you can still use them. For new players, this means you can boost the stats of your rare and epic champions and bring them more in line with the strength of standard legendary champions that you're having to fight against. If you don't have many legendaries yet, this can be a big help in closing the gap and winning some harder fights in the arena or the dungeons.
I do like that. I think the idea being you can boost up your epics to be more like kind of lower tier legendaries, which is true. I think that's a really nice change for folks that may not have a lot of legendaries. They can actually get their epics to be more like the sort of A tier, B tier, a legend. Obviously, they're not going to be S tier legendaries, but much better, much better.
For mid-game players, this flexibility will help you conquer the arena or beat some of the raid's tougher challenges, like some of the trickier secret rooms in the Doom Tower. And as your collection grows, you'll be able to benefit from some pretty sweet stat boosts if you manage to summon a couple of duplicate legendaries. For endgame players, this means you can have your cake and eat it too. You can get the stats boost from assigning some legendary faction guardians and keep your duplicate champion available in case you want to build a second of a certain champions, with this different artifact setup for a completely different role. And for everyone, no matter where you are in the game, bonus stats mean that all of you can be a bit bolder when experimenting with artifact setups. Okay, let's move on to our second option.
So I'm wondering, are these additional champion slots? So if I move champions into the Guardian Ring, do they disappear from my champion pool? And so I get more slots open? I don't know. I wouldn't guess so. I would guess they would still stay in my champion pool, and I could find them either in the search function for the dungeons and things. So, but that's just my guess. Maybe they do move. Although, how would you find them? I don't know. We'll see.
Option: Champion Empowerment. The principle is pretty simple. You select a legendary champion and feed them their duplicates to permanently empower them and give them a stat boost. You can do this up to 4 times. But keep in mind that you'll permanently lose the champions you used to empower another, so think twice before you do it. Like we said, we limited it. So while they can get a nice boost, you can't make them into unbeatable monsters.
Now, obviously, they're not going to let you make a Kraken legendary, right? But I would like to see what they're thinking on the boost. This seems like the weakest link to me because you're getting stat boosts by putting them into the Guardian Ring. Are the boosts you're getting by feeding them better than the Guardian Ring boosts? It seems like they would have to be in order to make that at all worthwhile. But we'll see.
We want to make sure it won't throw game balance off. We also realize there are a few champions you can't ever get duplicates of. Lydia the Death Siren, Gumlock Skyhide, Ura's Soul Cage, and a few others. So that these powerful champions aren't left out of this feature, we've assigned other champions from their faction to act as their surrogate duplicates as far as empowering is concerned. For example, you'll be able to use Vizix to empower Lydia.
I really like that. Obviously, they thought a lot about this because they're right. I mean, it would be nice to empower Lydia, and Vizix is the perfect choice. Now, you'll see that they don't have answers to the other ones, and I'm a little scared on who they'll pick for, like, Eurost.
Yeah. Anyway, the entire list will be available in the game once the Guardian Ring goes live. Finally, we have the Champion Unbinding feature that is also exclusive to Legendary Champions. In this tab, you'll be able to permanently release your Legendary dupes to get a special resource called Life Tokens. You'll lose those dupes forever, but you get a life token for giving them their life back. There's nothing fancy about the process itself. You choose a champion, triple-check them to make sure you don't need them, then release them from your service to get a life token. From there, you go to the Token Trader tab and behold several shiny legendary champions that you can get using life tokens. Different legendaries will have a different price based on their power, and you only get each of them from the Token Trader once. With this feature, you'll be...
Now, kind of a cool feature. I think everyone kind of thought this would be part of the duplicate system, but obviously it depends on how much they're going to charge and what champions they put in. I mean, the champions they had listed there weren't fantastic, at least not for my account. I mean, I don't have a Tomb Lord, so I might get him. If you know, down the road they're going to put some S-tier champions in there and make them expensive, that would be fine. And again, what are we talking about? Are we talking about 3 tokens for a Fushan? Are we talking about 5, 10? I mean, what are we talking about there? I wish they would give a little more, like a tiered list, right? And I think that would be helpful, because I have a feeling we're looking at 10 tokens. So you're going to have to eat 10 legendaries to get a new one. So we'll see.
Be able to get rid of unwanted duplicates and choose a champion you do want from the token trader list instead. We're going to be making a variety of champions available from the token trader, including some you might have missed out on from champion fusion events if you weren't lucky enough to be.
Yeah, see, now I didn't get an Iron Brago, so hopefully Iron Brago's in there, because I would definitely like to pick him up.
Playing raid back then. Folly, Molly Tankard, Fushan, Minaya, and a few others will all be available. Oh, and it's the holiday season soon, so the very special, very jolly Sir Nicholas will be coming to town as well. That's about it for the video. Be sure to let us know how things go. Once you've had a chance to play with the new features, we'll be monitoring your feedback, as always. Until next time, happy raiding!
So what do you think? I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I don't, the devil's in the details on this stuff. Like, what are the upgrades when you feed a champion to your duplicate? What are the costs for when you get the life tokens? So all that stuff is going to be obviously a big part of what's happening. But overall, I think pretty good. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll talk to you soon.